What's up, everybody? Greg White here with Paddock Chatter, presented by the National Guard. It's the AMA Pro Superbike race weekend for Mid-Ohio. Friday kicked off the day. We started at 10 o'clock in the morning with a riders meeting, and then bikes were on track around noon for some practice, and then qualifying this afternoon. In the American Superbike class, Tommy Hayden led the way, 0.111 seconds over Josh Hayes in practice this morning, followed by Larry Pegram, Jake Holden, Ben Bostrom in fifth, and then Canadian Brett McCormick in sixth place, just 0.886 off the pace. His best start to a weekend so far. For those keeping track of Eric Bostrom, he was in 11th after practice. And when qualifying got underway, do you believe in omens? How about this? Tommy Hayden, who had been like 5th, 6th a lot of the session, was trying to chase down Josh Hayes, who led the way almost the entire session. With about 5 to go, Tommy Hayden put in a better time than Hayes, 0.011 seconds, and that was on his, here's the omen, 22nd lap. Yeah, Tommy Hayden's number 22, so I just thought that was kind of funny. So Tommy Hayden sits on provisional pole from Hayes, then Pegram, Ben Bostrom, and Canadian Brett McCormick just 0.797 off the pace at a 126.434. Then National Guard Suzuki rider Jake Zemke, who is Brett McCormick's teammate, Brett on the Jordan Suzuki team. So Brett telling me this is the first time he's out-qualified Jake all year, so that could be a good sign for McCormick. For Eric Bostrom, he did a 127.382. That's 1.7 seconds quicker than he went in the morning. So Eric Bostrom getting to grips with the Show Air Attack Performance GSXR 1000 with the Yoshimura motor in it. Now, Jordan Zoke, who is the Canadian Superbike champion, is down racing the CBR 1000 RR, and he was in 9th place. And Curtis Roberts is also back racing on a Yamaha. He was 13th in qualifying. More to come tomorrow morning before the race to set the grid. If the weather's good, then I expect to see a little bit of a change in the running order. All right, so let's move on to Daytona Sport Bike. Josh Herrin led the way in practice at a 29.8 and then uncorked a 28.7 in qualifying. He was followed by Danny Eslick and Aquino and then Martin Cardenas in practice, but that was shaken up a little bit as Eslick was still P2 in qualifying, but then Steve Rapp got in there in front of Martin, and Tommy Aquino, who had a crash and hurt his right ankle, was back there in 5th place, and Dane Westby in 6th, so that's some good stuff. And let me flip the page here real quick. We talk about Super Sport. In Super Sport, it was like Red Bull Rookies Cup from last year all over again, only this time it was JD Beach, who's actually the Moto Grand Prix Red Bull Rookies Cup World Champion from 2 years ago. He did a 130.652 to sit on pole from Cameron Bobier, Huntley Nash, and Joey Pascarella. Earlier race winner Elena Myers qualified in 9th place. So there's been some crashes here. A lot of talk about the surface being very green at Mid-Ohio on Friday. A lot of places on the racetrack where riders are feeling uncomfortable with the front end of the motorcycle and drive on acceleration as well. So we'll have to see if rubber continues to be laid down on the racetrack, if that gets any better. There's a lot of sealant that's on the racetrack from the abuse it takes from the cars over the course of the last couple of years. Additionally, Dunlop brought a new tire, a new front tire for the Super Sport riders. That's what people are calling a harder compound, which Dunlop is calling more durable. So it lasts longer, and Mid-Ohio, infamous for ripping up front tires, use a lot of the front end around this racetrack. So, should be an interesting day of qualifying, final qualifying tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, and if I have time to give you an update tomorrow, I will. Please come on out to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course over the next couple days and watch some great AMA racing. If you can't do that, make sure you check it out on Speed. Ralph Shaheen and Jason Pridmore in the booth with myself on Pit Lane. That begins airing tomorrow, which is Saturday at 11 p.m. East for the Superbike race, and then midnight for the Daytona Sport Bike race. And on Sunday's races, it'll be midnight and 1 a.m. East Coast time. So, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on the West Coast Saturday, it's a pretty good time. So you have no excuses. Set the DVR if you're going out, or stay home and watch AMA Pro Racing. It's quite exciting. Thanks for joining me here on Paddock Chatter, presented by the National Guard. I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget, if you have any questions, want me to ask riders some questions or anything, just send it to Greg at amaproracing.com. If you have some pictures you want me to feature, I might be able to get those up on the blog as well. It's an evergreen process. We're going to keep on rolling with this thing, but hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye-bye.